By the end of this video, you are going to have a 5-step guide to create your own AI assistant in less than 10 minutes.
This is the exact system I use to create my personal sales assistant. He's able to analyze and summarize my daily emails, to identify potential leads, and then to prepare a draft answer that is ready to be sent.
This is a real-time saver that almost doubled my sales efficiency. My assistant does the heavy lifting and I stay in control of what I send to my customers. But of course, your assistant does not have to do that. You can build one to manage your calendar, to help with crypto or stock trading, or to produce content for LinkedIn, for your blog, or even for your podcast. I am 100% confident that whatever your job is, as long as you work behind a computer, a custom AI assistant equipped with the right tool, and this is the important part, will make you save a lot of time.
Now let me warn you. Every steps of this tutorial are essentials for its success, so make sure to not miss any of them. Let's go.
To create our assistant, we will be using OpenAI, so we can be confident that we are using the latest and greatest AI models. I have one very good news for you. You do not need to pay for GPT Plus or GPT Pro. This means that you can access the most premium model at almost no cost. Because we are using the API to create our assistant, we only pay for the tokens we use, and that's super cheap. To give you a range, to produce a text long as the full Bible, we would pay less than $1. The first thing you need to do is to go to the OpenAI website. You will be seeking OpenAI platform, so the back office of OpenAI, and to do that you can locate in the footer here API login. You click on API login and this will bring you to this interface, and first thing you want to do is to log in or to sign up here or here. I already have an account, so I log in. I use my Google account. Perfect. And I arrive in this interface. So this is the back office of OpenAI. It is the place where you will create your assistant. So you will use OpenAI models and you will customize it to fit your needs. And we will see how to do that. We will go directly to the dashboard. The dashboard is the place where we will be working in OpenAI. Go to the assistant here, and at the very top right, you have the create button that will allow to create a new assistant. Here in the middle, you have a list of all your existing assistants, so you can create as many assistants as you want. And on the right, so here, you have the interface to create and customize your assistant. So the first thing we want to do is to give our assistant a name. So we will name it Sales Email Assistant. Below we have a field where we can give our assistant instructions, and we will do that in step 2. Then what we need to do is to choose the LLM we want to use. So for this example, we will use GPT-4o Mini. He is way cheaper than 4o. For this tutorial, we will not use this part, the file search and code interpreter, but it's important that you know that with the file search, you can upload files for your assistant, and it's creating a knowledge base for him. So it gives him a context. And at the very bottom, you can choose the response format. We want to use text and the temperature and top P. This is basically a bit of the craziness of your assistant. So this is how we create an assistant. But before we can use it, we need to connect our credit card and purchase some credits so we can use our assistant. Okay, so for this you go to your profile. On the left you have billing here, and you can see your credit balance, and you can add payment method here. And I have already everything set up, so I will not go through that process, but it's very easy and straightforward. Choosing a model is a trade-off between the price and the capacities. Of course, a more powerful model will also be more expensive. It is super important that you understand that there is a huge difference between the models. For example, the old models like GPT 3.5, it's a bit like working with a lazy intern. And if you use the most powerful and most recent version like GPT-01, it's like having a true expert on your side. If you want to become completely fluent with AI, you have no choice but to try them. With time, you'll see, you will build a true AI instinct. Okay, that was the first step. Now it's time to train your assistant. Training your assistant is the fun part and a very, very important step in the process I am teaching. In the instruction field, you have to write in details how you want your assistant to work. It is like briefing a new employee. The best is your brief, the better he will do his job. The difference is that with your AI assistant, there is no emotional bound, of course. 100% of its efficiency relies in the instruction you provide. By the way, I created a cheat sheet with some good practices and advices to build an efficient assistant that delivers exactly what you want. So it's everything you need to know in one place. And you will find the link in the description, and it's completely free. So I use my cheat sheet to create the instruction for my sales email assistant. So I will just start by copy pasting the instruction I created in this field here. I can increase the size of the field like that so we can read. And in the instructions, I in detail described how I want this assistant to behave. So I give him an objective. You are an AI assistant tasked with managing a professional mailbox. Your primary mission is to process daily emails on demand and perform 2 key tasks. So then I explain the key tasks, so identify potential leads and draft a professional response. I describe the workflow, analyze the email, qualify the lead, draft a response. I give some guidelines about the tone. I ask him to be clear and concise and professional. I give some example scenario. Don't worry, you will find the prompt in the cheat sheet. So we gave our assistant instructions and we need now to test it before we use it. And to test it, you can do that in the playground. The playground is an interface where you can interact with your assistant. So here we are discussing with our assistant. We can send him a message like that. Here you will find your instructions that you provided in the dashboard, so you can modify them. So this is really ideal to go back and forth with your assistant and improve it until it's working exactly like you want. Something cool here is that you can see the amount of tokens that it costed. In is the token you sent and out is the token you received from the assistant. Before I get into the next 3 steps, the last one about the tools being by far the most important one, I need you to hit that subscribe button just here to learn more about how to use AI to make your life better. I upload content about that several times a week and you don't want to miss that. Now that the core of our assistant is ready, it is time to bring it to the world so you can interact with him for real. To do so, there are many possibilities, and the one I will show you today is by using N8N. N8N is the most powerful automation tool I know. Let me warn you, N8N is more technical than its competition, Make or Zapier. This is the reason why N8N is more powerful. There is literally no limitation to what you can build with N8N. But do not worry, with me you will be fine. I will take you by the hand and guide you step by step in the process of building your workflows. Trust me, N8N is probably the best tool to learn today. And once you know it, once you master it, it becomes even funnier than Minecraft. I swear. To use N8N, you have 3 options. You can self-host it on your own server, you can install it locally on your computer, or you can use N8N official cloud. For this tutorial, we will be using the official cloud. There is a 14 days free trial that you will use, so you can test the tool and you see if you appreciate it as much as I do. If one day you decide to pay for N8N, I would be grateful if you use my affiliate link in the description. This would support my work a lot. Now that we are in N8N, we are ready to start our workflow and interact with our assistant. Before we dive into step 4, where I give you the exact N8N workflow I'm using for free, I want to share with you an exciting project I launched in January 2025. The name of this project is the AI Atelier. It is an exclusive community of builders created on the trending and gamified school platform. In the AI Atelier, we explore automation, prompts, AI, coding for non-developers, and much more through discussions, classroom, and live sessions. You will find all the informations in the description. Okay, so now it is my favorite part. We will build the n8n workflow so we can interact with our AI assistant. Don't worry, it will be super simple, only a few nodes to put together, and I will show you exactly how to proceed. So if you follow well, at the end you will have the exact same result that I do. Let's go. So the first thing we want to do is to add the chat trigger node. So this will create a chat box, ready-made node that n8n is offering to us. It's very powerful and it's very cool for testing and debugging and starting to build something cool. Here you see that you can make your chat publicly available. If you check this, it will generate a link for you so you can discuss with your assistant, and you can choose between the hosted mode, so it will be like a landing page where you can chat with your assistant, or the embedded chat, so you can put the chat box directly on your website. Great, but for the moment, this is not what we are looking for. We are building the workflow, so let's stay focused. We will add the OpenAI node, and we will choose the action, message, and assistant here. So with this node, we are able to communicate with the assistant we created in the OpenAI dashboard. You guessed right. You need to provide some credentials. So credentials here is a way for n8n to communicate with OpenAI. So you need to find in the OpenAI dashboard an API key. I will just show you where. If you go in the OpenAI platform, in your profile, you have API keys. And here you have the possibility to manage and create new API keys. So for example, I will create a new API key that I will name test here. And I will select the project, teach, I will create my secret key, and I need to copy it and paste it in the n8n credentials. So I click here and success. So n8n is now connected to OpenAI, perfect. And we can find in the list of the assistant our sales email assistant. For the prompt source, since we are using the built-in n8n chat node, we can just take from previous node automatically. It will work out of the box. Now there is something important here about the memory that you need to understand. That's quite important. By default, LLMs, no matter what LLM you're using, does not have a memory. It means that he will not remember the context of a conversation like you would expect him to do. When you are talking with ChatGPT, he remembers the conversation, right? But in fact, all the history is sent with every message. So the context of the conversation is sent to the AI with every message. And this is not intuitive for us. We would have thought that the super smart AI, they have a memory, but they have not. The OpenAI node in n8n offers several ways to handle memory. You have the use memory connector, so you can connect an external memory system, or you can use Thread ID, which is the official OpenAI memory management system. It's very powerful. For the sake of this tutorial, we will use the most straightforward and simple memory system. It's the window buffer memory. Stores in n8n memory, so no credential required. Of course, that's not the best memory system, but it's perfect for quick prototyping like we are doing, and in the future you can easily replace this memory system with another one. Now our assistant has a memory. Before we dive in the last step where we'll be equipping our assistant with tools, let's take a little breath and try it. So this is our current workflow, very simple, and we have the chat button at the very bottom here. On the right here you have some logs, but that's not interesting for the moment. And on the left here you have a very simple chat interface. So we can write a message to our assistant. Hello, my name is Manu. Hello Manu, how can I assist you today? If you have any emails that need processing or any questions, feel free to let me know. Perfect. Let's just check if he has a memory. What is my name? You can see here that he's reflecting. And here he answered, your name is Manu. As I said, the last step of this tutorial is by far the most important one. We will be talking about the tools. We will give tools to our assistant. So please focus, stay with me. It's really important because not a lot of people in the world are able to do that today. So I really think that it is a great learning. A tool is the possibility for your assistant to do something else than just sending a message. When you create a tool for your assistant, you give him the power to interact with the outside world. For example, a tool can be send an email or post a message on LinkedIn or just move a card on Trello or access to your Google Drive to seek for files. Bring you a coffee. No, this is a bad joke. For the moment, assistants are limited to what is possible to do on a computer, but almost anything that can be done on a computer, an AI assistant can do. n8n offers a very simple and visual way to give tools to your assistant. You just drag and drop the node you want and it's done. Your assistant have the tools. So the assistant we are creating is a sales email assistant, right? His mission is to check my email, to analyze for potential leads, and to draft an answers that I can send later. And for this, I need to give him two tools. The first one is the possibility to read my emails. And the second one is to create a draft in my Gmail account. Okay, so to add those two tools to our assistant, we will click here on the tools output. It will open on the right list of tools and we will be seeking for Gmail. We will rename this first tool read my emails. Okay, so it's nice and clean. I have a very strong suggestion for you. Please make sure to always rename your node in a way that you understand them. It's very important to keep your workflow clean. You will thank me in the future for that. Okay, and we want to give him a second tool, also Gmail, right? And it is write a draft answer like this, simple and clean. So our OpenAI assistant has now access to those two tools. Very simple. It's time to configure them. So let's open read my emails. So what we want to change here is the operation. Instead of send, we want to get many. So this will get many emails and this will return the last 50 emails. Okay, and the second tool, it will be slightly more complex, but here is the real magic. So please try to follow. So for the resource, instead of message, we will choose draft. The operation is create. And now we want the AI assistant to be able to choose the subject, correct? So we cannot put a hard-coded subject. And for this, n8n offers a very powerful way to achieve that result. First, we need to do this to activate the expression mode. So it will turn this field into an expression. So we can put code into it. And we will copy this little code here into the subject, like that. So this is basically telling that the content of the field subject is defined by the assistant, by the agent. So we need to change the placeholder name here. You leave all the rest like that. You just change that and you put email title. You don't have to put email title exactly like I did because you can choose the way you want. What is important is that it will be understandable for your assistant. So just try to put something meaningful and the assistant will understand. We will do the same for the message. So we don't forget to turn the field to expression. And we passed that. Oops. And we put email content. Okay. Now this could be enough like that, but I would like to be a bit playful and try to push our assistant a bit further. So I would like him to do something more than just choosing the subject and the message. I would like the assistant also to be able to provide the recipient, so the person to whom we should send that email. So basically the person who wrote to us the email in the first place. And for this, we have two possibilities. The first one is by using the to email. So this opens a field here where we could do the same system and asking the assistant to pass the email. But I want to try something different. I want to use the thread ID. So the answer will be prepared. So the draft will be prepared as a reply to the email we received, which I think is the behavior we want. So, but both are possible. So we will do the same here in the thread ID, like that. We choose expression and we say that this is the thread ID. Okay. And I think that our workflow is now ready and it's time for testing. So to try our assistant, we will be using the N8N built-in chat, and we just need to make the chat publicly available here and copy that link. Open it in a new tab and ask our assistant if we have leads. Do I have any leads in my emails? Then we wait a few seconds for our assistant to process. So right now he's using the first tool, probably, I hope he is, the tool to read in my mailbox. I found a lead in new emails. So from Emmanuel Bernard, subject new website, snippet, hello, I want a new website for my Qigong class, can you help me? Who is that Emmanuel Bernard? I don't know. And here is a proposal for the draft. Dear Bernard, thank you for reaching out. I'd be happy to discuss creating a new website for your Qigong class, etc. Okay. The draft is saved and ready to be sent. So let's check that. Here is my email. Oh yes, we have an email from a certain Emmanuel Bernard who wants a Qigong class, and we have a very well-crafted draft answer that is ready to be sent. What you will quickly be willing to do is to have a conversation with those assistants outside of the N8N interface, right? And good news, I created two tutorials for you, one to discuss with your assistant by email and one to discuss with your assistant through WhatsApp.